The haves and the have-nots. Now, a lot of times when people say that, they're talking about money. But I believe lately that statement or phrase is referring to people who actually see what's going on and people who have vision and people who don't. People who see the implications of what was said and people who just see the surface level. And I think that happened with Donald Trump's presidency campaign. And I think that there were people who saw what was coming and even tried to warn others. And then there were people who didn't. And now they're so shocked. And I don't even know how, but they're so shocked by what's happening. Um, so there were people last night who are complaining that was the worst halftime show ever. And then there are people like me who think that it was iconic and the most amazing piece of artistry that was ever enacted on the Super Bowl stage. The stage itself was a tic-tac-toe board, which is a game of strategy. It was also a PlayStation controller, and PlayStation is owned by Sony, which owns Drake's music. And I saw a video by Yaya's Vision on TikTok, and she was talking about numerology, and her breakdown of numerology was so great. I'm just going to try to sum up what she said. She said the Eagles won, and Eagles represent freedom and higher vision, and the Chiefs represent the established power structure. And higher vision led to the Eagles' freedom over the past power structures. And then the score was 40-22, and both represent 4, which is the number of the physical world. And then there was a difference of 18 points between the winner and the loser. And 8 plus 1 equals 9. If we look at the year 2025, 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. 9 represents the end of a cycle. 9 is the number before 10 when you get to the double digits. And then 19 is the number before 20 when you get into out of the teens into 20s. And so on. Every time you have a 9, you're getting ready to go to a new level. You're getting ready to go to a new cycle. Look at that. 2025, 18. Wow. That was so beautiful, what she said. And she also said, well, now I want to get into my thoughts, okay? Go check out her video on TikTok, Yaga's Vision. But 9 is also revolution. Kada said the revolution was being televised. The old car represented history, and he's dancing between power, red for emotion, red for blood, and white, which many times represents control and supremacy. When certain people squeeze their knuckles together, their fist, you see them get white knuckles. They're leashing or unleashing their power, right? Then I noticed the American flag tries to lock Kendrick Lamar down. And it also shows a division, right? Because he's in the center, but kind of the flag was divided at one point. So America is and has been divided between the haves and the have-nots, which I started off with, between those that see and those that don't, between those that are being crushed by the power structure and those that are either, rebelling against it or benefiting from it. So there's so many different levels of division. Then Uncle Sam comes out and narrates how he should act. And he's being too loud, he's being too boisterous, he's being ghetto. And then he calms down and he gets praise for that. And then Kendrick Lamar is rapping, be humble, sit down. And then he shifts. to talking about how there's royalty in his DNA. And then the women come out in white. Now, in the beginning, like I said, white symbolized something totally different. But when the women come out in white and they have the hairstyles with the black and the red, that's totally a different kind of white. So white is now representing purification and ascension. And we see their hair. Black a lot of times represents the shadow side. Red, of course, a lot of times represents sacrifice or blood to get to the ascension, to get to the next level. That 9, that end of the cycle, you gotta be ready and willing to sacrifice. You gotta be ready and willing to take a risk, which he did even by performing the songs he did, which he was showing us to do by everything he was doing on that stage. And so then we see them have bangs. All right. Their hair, of course, is on their head where their crown is, their crown chakra. The bangs are right where their third eye would be. What do we need when we're getting ready to try to go to the next level? We need intuition. We need guidance, right? We need to face that shadow self. We need to be ready to sacrifice and do what it tells us to do, Oh my gosh. And then Kendrick Lamar and SZA perform, and we got the divine masculine and feminine harmonizing to sing about the stars being close. They're talking about alignment, and then the universe's support of everything that's going on. Manifestation. He walks in a circle talking about the system being rigged, but you can't fake influence. Influence comes from true purpose and authenticity. And then he tells people to turn the TV off. TV consists of programming. Stop being programmed. Be authentic. Stop channeling only what the media sends and employ your true influence. Wow. Oh my gosh. So much, so much, so much, so much, so much. I'm just so floored and grateful that so many of us saw it. And I'm sad that so many of us just still want to be entertained. Because I just want to say as a poet, especially in times like we are living in right now, when certain groups want to take us backwards, this is the time when art becomes the voice of the people, when art is not just entertainment, when art is a revolution. And that is one of the jobs of a writer, of an entertainer, whether that person is a poet or a singer or a comic or an actor, or in this case, a musician, is to speak truth to power and to galvanize people, to get them to see what's going on. What did Marvin Gaye say? Aha! What's going on? Oh my gosh, it's Black History Month, and people are talking about not being entertained. Are you a have or are you a have not? Let's get it together. May you walk in Zenergy.